Hey, what's up, Showstoppers? It is Showstopper Gaming back with another WWE 2K24, the last video before the game drops, and we get into some actual gameplay and game modes. So, if you're new, what I've been doing every week, every Friday, is I've been reviewing each of the game modes that exist in WWE 2K24. So up until this point, we have went over a showcase, we have went over universe mode, we have went over my faction, um, and my rise, and just talked about things I liked, things that they've said that we might be getting this year, things that could come in the future years that could improve the game and the game mode, and just my opinions overall on all of it and my ideas of ways that it can be made better. So we're finally to the last one, MyGM, which is one of my favorite modes, to be honest. I just think they did a really good job with designing it and how it plays, and it's competitive. We really, really, really need to get it online. That's my biggest thing. I do think it's been confirmed that this year there will not be an online compatibility for it. So again, it's just going to be local play, or playing against the CPU. That is just priority number one should be that. I should be able to jump on and play my GM online against any one of my friends on my friend list. That is going to make a big difference. So, fingers crossed that next year that's something that definitely happens. I'm not going to knock the mode for not having it. It's still a good mode. It does look like they have been doing, making changes to it. And, when we first got this mode, it was very much a base build, and they've been adding to it ever since. So I do think I can understand why, online play wasn't the first priority if they're just trying to, you know, make the most of the mode that they can. I understand it, but I do think now we have a good enough mode that let's focus on getting it online. And once we do that and can get that running smoothly, then we can continue on with the additions to it. So, without any more rambling in this intro, let's jump in and see what the website actually says about the mode. So it says, run the show in MyGM, assume the role of a general manager, and draft an elite roster of WWE superstars so you can start producing larger than life shows in MyGM mode. Make executive decisions by trading superstars, offering contracts, and doing whatever it takes to best more rival GMs and brands than ever before. So a few of these things that kind of have led us to assume what we're getting: more brands, more GMs, and the ability to trade superstars between the brands. All good additions. I do think I'm not saying it here, but I do think I saw something about superstar actions possibly too, where they'll be able to do certain things. Potentially as well. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like or how that's going to work until we get more information on it. But that is interesting. I think more GMs and brands to choose for is great. Obviously, as much as they can keep extending it is great. I do think one thing they can focus on is just adding in a custom brand. You have custom GM, which pretty much allows you to pick any GM. Anyone can be GM at that point, right? So that's cool in and of itself. So I think doing a custom brand would be awesome too. I've been trying to think what would stop them for that, but I do know that once you're into GM mode, a lot of the screens have kind of custom graphics for SmackDown, Raw, all that looks different, right? So that could be, and pretty much through all the screens that you see, you have the logos and all that. I don't think it would, I'm not a game designer here. My thought would be basically design a basic layout for the custom brand, and where there's one place on each screen for a logo to appear, and to import the custom brand, you have to do a custom show or whatever that contains that logo that they can use. That could be a way to implement it. But I do think if you implemented that, then you know that just allows more flexibility in the game. People can play as other non WWE promotions if they want to, things that WWE couldn't actually put in the game, even if they wanted to. But hey, that's one of those things. If we get it, cool. I don't think it hurts the mode not having it. And I'm interested to see what other GMs and brands they put in. This also means new. The reason why I like the addition of these things, because it also adds different, power up cards and stuff like that. So that's always interesting to see, and can make the game feel different if you have different abilities to use. It does look like we're going to get ECW just from the picture, obviously. So maybe Paul Heyman's a GM. Maybe he's one of the added GMs. Maybe we can get, like Teddy Long or Vicky Guerrero or some of the past GMs. I'm sure we'll get who knows. But it's all more additions always welcome. Trading is huge. That's going to be awesome. That's a big plus. Um, that will make GM modes more fun. I'm interested to see, they talked about the superstar a little bit. I'm interested to see how that works. The biggest thing with GM mode though is you want to add enough, but you don't want to make it where you're doing so much each week that it then complicates the gameplay, right? So I do think there should be ways to increase superstars promo levels, superstar stamina, stuff like that. I would like to see that, but I don't want it to turn into where I have to do 18 things just to proceed in the week, or I got to go through all these days just to get to a show, stuff like that. I don't know if you remember the SmackDown versus Raw GM modes, but we had, and I'm probably gonna forget what exactly year it was, 2006 and 7 maybe, but one of them was pretty straightforward GM mode, and then the next one they added you could do story riders and different storylines and all that, and it was a good concept, but it definitely complicated the gameplay a little bit. So that's always my fear when you're adding new features and stuff like that. um, but really, I mean, there's not much to add to this mode. I think it's a very good mode. It looks very good. The controls are simple. The gameplay makes sense. I liked their added bonus of, you know, the cards after the pay-per-views and stuff like that. The game changers, or what it's called. But I mean, the game mode plays really good. It looks good. The draft system is awesome. The only really addition I think that this needs is make it online. Have online servers. Make it where you can play with up to 4 people online would be awesome. Imagine, jumping in to a MyGM with 3 other people and 3 of your friends. That would be really cool. What it could do for content creators and stuff like that to create competitive GM mode games, all kinds of stuff. It would be really interesting, and just it makes the game more competitive than playing against the computer, and if you don't have anyone local to play with. So yeah, that's really my only big suggestion for this. I there's not a whole lot. Like, it's a good mode. It's a solid mode, and I'm glad to see they keep adding to it, and that it's kind of a focus of the game moving forward. That's always a plus. So for me, how I'm going to be playing this, I think me and my wife are going to do a gym series. She has gotten a lot more into wrestling over the years that we've been together, and we have played the past versions of the game and had a lot of fun with it. So I think you're going to see a competitive GM mode against us two, and we'll both be here recording and, taking turns, booking our show, drafting against each other, all that. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. It probably won't be out soon. I think I'm going to do a showcase mode playthrough first, and then also do some my faction stuff while we let the game get going. And they usually update GM mode sometimes throughout the game too, so make sure there's no kind of bugs starting off. And also community creations, maybe we'll download some other people to throw in the mix just to shake up the roster a little bit. So it will probably be a month or 2 after the game starts that series starts, but it's definitely going to be coming. And hopefully we'll do a full season until there's a winner. I don't know if it's going to be the same as last year with the Hall of Fame stuff, or how that's going to work. So it'll be interesting to do, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if that's something you guys are interested in, any of these modes. So I'm going to pretty much be playing every mode in the game this year. The only thing I don't have anything planned for right away is universe mode, but we're going to be doing my faction videos on Friday, showcase videos on Wednesday, I believe, doing a playthrough of that. I'm going to be live streaming My Rise, is the plan, and then we'll be doing a MyGM, me and my wife. So if any of that interests you guys and y'all want to check that out, then subscribe to the channel so you'll know when all the videos come out. It also supports my channel and this growth. I've loved wrestling my whole life, and I've been very passionate about these games and the WWE product as a whole. And I've literally been playing every wrestling game that's released since, SmackDown games on the PlayStation 2. And I even had some of the older games as well. But so I'm really passionate about this, and I enjoy getting to play and share this with everyone that watches. And I always appreciate everyone who watches, comments, likes, all of those things. So, um, again, I just really appreciate the support. I'm on the goal to try to get to 100 subscribers. So, if you don't mind, just hit that subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment. It really does mean a lot to me. Let me know, are you excited for MyGM? What do you expect the GMs will be, or the brands, the new GMs brands, and who are you going to be? Are you going to be ECW, WCW, Raw, SmackDown? What GM? I know last season I played a little bit, and I will say I think I did NXT 2.0 and Tyler Breeze because they were some of the most OP cards. I think Breeze, you got to steal someone's card. Maybe that was Creed, or Breeze was the stamina increase, I think. But NXT 2.0, I think, was like 50% off up to 3 free agents in 1 week, which was a huge. Anyone who's played and dealt with injuries and lack of having people due to budget knows how big of a boost that was. So it'll be interesting to see what cards are better than others this season. But yeah, let me know, who are you going to play with? What brand are you going to choose, and who would be your first draft pick? I think I got to go with the Viper, Randy Orton for me, the Legend Killer. Always a staple to have on the brand. But let me know what you think. Who's going to be your first draft round pick? But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. This is the last video of this recap series. This series just going over my thoughts and opinions of each mode. Next time you see me, it's going to be 2K24 gameplay. Once the game releases, I'll be playing it early with the pre-order 3 days early, hopefully. So I'll be able to get some showcase and my faction film for you next week. So check out videos. I should be hopefully a showcase Wednesday if I can get it done, and then a my faction video Friday, and then after that every week we're going strong. So join the Showstopper crew here, and let's have fun, guys. Let's go on this journey together. So as always, I appreciate it, and never stop still in the show. Until next time.